Hey, brother, what's up?
How you doing, my friend? It is another warm day down here in Florida, but I'm not complaining. How about yourself?
Yeah, it's starting to creep up there again here. We're
Yeah.
in the low to mid 80s today, and we're supposed to be like 90 by Sunday, and then I think 90 again mid next week. So, welcome to the Ohio Valley.
Well, we're almost halfway through September already, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
So the cold is coming, my friend. So I mean,
Yeah, all too quickly.
not so much here. It's going to get cooler, but it won't get really cold.
It won't
Unless-
get like up. It won't be up here cold.
unless Dame is down here, of course. Then
Well, yeah,
the temperature
40
goes down.
degrees.
Right. And we got Randy from A Christmas Story walking around the theme parks again. So.
Can't put my arm down. I'm sorry. I can't put my arms down.
Yeah, just put them down when you get to work. Oh, well, welcome in, everybody. We're happy to have you here. It is Cakes and I were talking about what we were going to do. It's our Thursday night slot, and it does fall on 9/11. So we really came to the conclusion that really that's what we're going to have to talk about. Just because of the history, the unbelievable events that happened on the day. It's been 24 years, Cakes. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
24 years. It's I can't believe it. It seems like it was yesterday, right? Still, and you know what I'm saying. It's just unbelievable. Yeah. The time is flying, and we just wanted to share basically our thoughts on it. What basically what we were doing that day when it happened. Like my parents always said, they remembered the day Kennedy was shot. They knew where they were. They know what they were doing. Well, This was our Kennedy moment in the sense of, exactly what you were doing. You know what was going on when you first heard the story and saw the footage, so on and so forth. So we're going to talk about that. And we're hoping the people in the chat can sort of share their stories too. We'd love to hear that. And just sort of make sure that the purpose of this show is, like the title says, we never want to forget, right? It's
exactly right.
Something that on this day it deserves what it needs for the lives lost and everybody that was affected by it.
Yep.
And so we're going to talk about that. And once we're done with that, we may have a special guest that comes in a little bit later. We'll see how that goes. We'll cross our fingers on that. But before we move on, let's welcome the chat here really quick, and we'll get started.
Hi, chat.
Hi, chat. There it is. That's how we
roll. Let's see. Philhar Magical Mel, Dame Dystopia, Lily, the 927. I guess Mandy Mary. Jen, Lily's mom, Keith Winter, Paige C, Marla.
I'm making sure I'm pointing the right way. You were right the first time. So there we go. There it is, right there. So there you go. Yeah.
Keith Winter.
Keith, how you doing, sir? Long time no see.
Darina, Queen Darina. Hey.
Hi, Darina. Hi, Dame. Reed. Benny's in the house. Hey, Benny. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, I missed that.
No, he just popped in. So.
What?
Benny just popped in.
There you go. Okay, I just got to the
Benny. Benny
That's
is
about it.
He's fashionably late.
That's all right.
You can't start right at 7. I gotta just pop in and make an appearance, right? So, how you doing, Benny? Sorry. So, really quick, I did find out.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Francisco. Thank you very much for being here. Everyone, thank you very much for being here on this day. I found out earlier. I haven't put the vlog together from last Saturday yet, but I found out there was one point when we were with a bunch of different people, some live streamers and stuff, and Keith and Angie were there, and a few other Benny and Neri were there, and April from brain freeze here.
Bouncing Journey.
Thank you, A Bouncing Journey, and she's doing it. She's actually live right now, and but out at Epcot. But long story short, we had just gotten off Soarin', and we had to bring Lily to the bathroom really quick. And I told Keith, and Keith, you didn't tell me about this, so I'm gonna give you one of these right now. I told him to hold on to my camera.
For shame.
Yeah, exactly. So he held onto my camera. Little did I know, as I'm going through the clips here to start putting this video together, when I gave him the camera, it looks like Benny and Neri and all of the other people had some fun with my camera and started filming some stuff that I was not aware of. So, there it is. See, Benny?
I'm so proud of you all.
Well, it's gonna get in the. It'll get in the vlog. Trust me. So it's yeah, there it is. But yeah, it's like Jen just put the link out for April. She is actually live right now out at Epcot,
Yeah.
the DSN Disney Streamers Network. So
Yeah, she does a really good job too.
she does a really great job out there. So if you guys have not subscribed to her or checked her out at least, please do so. She does a really good job. She streams right now once a week, but when she does stream, she puts in the full effect, and ready to go. So
Then he said he'll sign the waiver.
wow. Keith, I'm going to blame you on this one. I'm going to have a talk with him off the record, but we'll get that all straightened out. So, and again, yes, for Benny and Mary,
I can handle that when he comes back home there, Ken.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes, I got Guido waiting for you there, Keith. So get ready.
I'm going to make him take me out to dinner. How about that?
Oh, that'll make me feel better. But Jen just put the link up for the Not So Scary Mary TV for Benny and Neri, who another great group of people that do great jobs on vlogs and live streams and have a lot of fun. So definitely check them out if you have not done so. Lucinda Campbell in the house. Oh, another fashion be late, So I like that, Lucinda. That's
as
fun.
Always.
But anyways, all right. So Cakes doesn't venture over to the east side. Is that true?
That's not really the east side. I mean, it is east of 75, but come on, man.
Right.
You're like right there on the line.
Yeah. It's all Cincinnati to me. East side, west side. Who gives a? Never
It
mind.
is. We have fun with it. Though. It is. It's not that big of a deal, but we do have some fun with it. So.
Yeah, that's right. And good evening, Jonathan. Jonathan Smallwood in the house.
Jonathan.
Everyone say hello to Jonathan. He said, "Look at that gentleman. Wow, we must have moved up the ranks here a little bit." So
he must have been drinking already.
How many there, Jonathan? So it's like, there you go. Absolutely. So, and one last topic. I'll say this because once we're done tonight, I'll be watching my Packers play. So, so don't text me, please. All right, leave me alone. And if the Packers are getting beat,
So if you have his number,
if you have my number, I'm guessing you're gonna let me have it. So there's Lily. I'm wearing football Packers, football jersey Packers. There it is. So she's got her own. She's not. She's lying. She's not. Anyways, but she's having fun with it. So,
I'm gonna at least watch the first half tonight.
There you go. Got to work early tomorrow, Cakes?
Every day. Well,
every day. Attaboy.
Tomorrow.
So really quick before we get to our topic, let's talk for 2 minutes on NFL Week 1. What did you think? Any surprises? Any fun? So
I mean, yeah, like I don't know. Not really. Yeah. I mean, I was a little surprised with the Browns and the Bengals, both of them.
Yeah.
Past that, though, I mean, the best part of the whole weekend was the Chiefs losing. That's for sure.
There you go.
So and hopefully there's many more losses. And we all know why I'm saying it.
Yeah, exactly. In all seriousness, I think Lily had called Cakes during his football game. And all I remember is looking at Lily's iPad and seeing Cakes watch his game, and here's the look he had on his face.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Hey TPG, how are you? Sorry I didn't see you earlier today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was out at Busch Gardens.
Gardens, yeah, and unfortunately I missed the whole thing today.
And TPG, I got to say this really quick. One is Jenny was watching you earlier today, and she said you were zipping through roller coaster lines like there was nothing there, and she was very jealous. So you got your fill of roller coasters, which is great. And second, we always got to throw the love to TPG, Theme Park Giant, everyone. Another great live streamer, 5 days a week at least, every morning. He's out at the parks, whether it's Disney, Universal, or in this case, Busch Gardens or SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Brings you unbelievable footage. Great guy. He answers your questions. He brings you the best, content he possibly can. Theme Park Giant, everyone. Another member of the Disney Streamers Network. We're getting all these plugs in before we get started tonight. But yes, everyone.
Everybody gets one.
Everyone gets one. That's right. And before we move on, let's get the Dame scroll in there really quick before we get serious here.
Nothing new.
Yeah, there's nothing new to it, but we love to see it. Let's get it in there.
Oh.
There we go.
God.
Yeah, exactly. So
I thought you were talking about people coming in the chat.
No, we forgot the last plug for Dame Dystopia and her channel. Definitely check out Dame Dystopia. When I say check it out, the footage is great. It's perfect. It's 100% because there is none. It's great, So it's just, but we're trying to get those sub numbers up for Dame. So if you have not done so, please.
One of the best channels out there.
let's don't. Here she goes. I'm sorry, Dame. We love you. So you can't go a stream without mentioning Dame's link, right? So there we go. So, but anyways, she's a good sport. She's a good sport. Okay.
She is that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So there it is. Thank you, Jen, for putting Dame's link up there. She can be mad at all of us now. So there you go. So there it is. So,
again,
all right.
I don't really care if she's mad at us or not.
That's okay. Yeah. Unless she gets down here or up there in your case, whatever. What is she going to do?
Oh, crap. She does know where I live. She knows where you live too.
Oh, but we
forgot about that. Somehow I'm still not that afraid. All right.
Anyways. All right. So for tonight, like I said, usually we like to joke, laugh, have a great time, and not that we're not going to have any of that per se. It's just we thought the best thing we could do would be to I can't see nothing. All right, my producer was coming upstairs. But anywho,
unless he's throwing something at you, I mean,
yeah, right, exactly. But yeah. So anyways, again, with today being 9/11, we definitely wanted to talk about that a little bit. This is our first time doing a show. Obviously, we just started a little while ago, and it happens to fall on 9/11, so we definitely wanted to talk about that a little bit. So
yeah,
and basically, we're just going to start off by talking about what we actually were doing on 9/11 in 2001. And
sorry, I'm laughing at chat here.
No, it's all good. I know that she's on a roll, so it's good. So, but anyways, it's so yeah, let's just start with that, Kicks. Let's rewind back to 2001 and sort of, if you don't mind, share your story of what you were doing that day and basically how it played out for you. And I'm assuming you were still in Cincinnati at the time, correct? So
yeah,
okay.
We haven't left.
Okay, there you go.
Let's see. It was been married 7 months at the time. Was working at a hotel in a little town not far from where we are now. Front desk clerk for a very good friend of mine. So this is before my truck driving days and all that. And went in, normal morning, cool, crisp, clear, just a beautiful early fall morning. And was behind the counter, checking people out for the morning as they're leaving. Not a real big hotel, it's just, outlier of the Cincinnati area. So not real big day, big deal. It's Tuesday, pretty slow. People are leaving, I don't know. I don't remember how many people were leaving, but, and the lady was cleaning up the breakfast area and who did that. And, sitting there just kind of like goofing off on the computer and just waiting for people to check out. And we always had the TV on in the breakfast area with the news, and it was on the whatever station Bryant Gumbel was on. I can't remember. But
I believe he was an NBC guy.
So. Was that the Today Show?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so that was on just where we ended up on a given day, and they flipped over and said a plane had crashed into the first tower, and and my first thought, being the World War II nerd that I am, is when the bomber in World War II crashed into the Empire State Building.
Right.
I'm like, wow, it must be foggy or something. I looked at the TV and went, well, no, that's not fog.
Right.
So just a bad accident, right?
Right.
So I step outside for a few minutes, and I used to smoke way back then, and I've since quit years ago. But came back in, and right as I came in back in the door, and I turned to my left, and I looked at the TV and watched the second plane hit live on TV. So, yeah, it was like at that point, you kind of know that something ain't right, and everybody pretty much checked out by that point in time because 9 something in the morning, and most business people were gone, and the housekeepers had all showed up to work, and everybody's kind of stopping and watching, and the radio that we had playing over the speakers in the lobby, which is a local radio station, flipped over to news, and of course news was on for the rest of the day. And we had friends of ours that had gotten married the Saturday prior, and they were on their honeymoon in Gatlinburg. And my other buddy, who was actually married to the girl I was working for, his brother and girlfriend and 4 or 5 of our other friends had landed in Germany like less than 24 hours before. So they're out of town. So I call him to let him know. And he said, I was just getting ready to call you because, you know, and then his wife was on her way into work. And so we were debating on whether we should call our buddy in Gatlinburg. You know, he's on his honeymoon, but I mean, we all grew up together like brothers. And so I called him, and they didn't even know until like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon by the time we called him. But they knew when we called him because they finally had gotten up. They'd slept in, and they were in a cabin in Gatlinburg. So they didn't turn the TV on or anything. They went out to lunch, and in fact, they were at the NASCAR cafe. I remember all these details, and I wasn't even there.
Right.
They, you know, called him, and then we were like, we got a call. Tom, my buddy Tom, got a call from his brother in Germany. Said they were fine. Everything was good there, and everybody that they were around over there. I forget what town they were in, but everyone there was watching the same thing we were watching, just 8 or 9 hours ahead of us or whatever it is, and time wise. And I remember calling Mandy. She was homesick that day, and I called her, and she wasn't really comprehending. She was on, I don't know, NyQuil or something, I'm sure. But so I left work and drove back to our apartment at the time, and she had just gotten up and was thinking, you know, like everybody else, man, maybe I should go fill the cars up. You know, just what do you do? And I remember driving back down to the gas station. There being lines for people getting gas because nobody knew. So I went back up to the apartment and sat there, and we watched it for the rest of the night. And I remember flipping through all the channels on cable, and every single channel except for 3 that I can remember were covering this from one news outlet or there. Whoever owned that specific channel was showing their broadcast. And the 3 I remember that weren't were Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and the Disney Channel.
Right.
And they stayed on their regular programming, you know, for kids and that. And I thought that it just sticks out in my mind that was like that. And of course, watching the other buildings collapse by that time of day, and just the uneasiness of that whole thing, because there were so many questions. You know, we heard about all 4 planes hitting by the evening time, and you know, everybody's waiting for something else. And one other thing that sticks out in my head, and I'll wrap up my little spiel, is where we lived was on the approach or takeoff path from the Cincinnati International Airport. So we lived in an apartment building. We're on the 3rd floor. Our double door balcony thing faced west, and we would sit in our apartment and literally watch the planes land, or come across, and they were almost eye level at that point because we were right on the river, and the airport is just the other side of the river. At night, you could see each window lit up on the plane, and you could actually see people's heads every once in a while. It sounds far-fetched, but it really was. And it was quiet that day, and it was eerily quiet.
Right.
Because they had landed all the flights. And when you live next to an airport, a major airport, you get used to the noise. You don't hear it anymore after a while. You know, I think we'd been there for like 2 years or 3 years or something. You just don't hear the airplanes anymore. It fades away. But that day, since they weren't there, it was actually quiet, and it was eerie. Like I remember talking to neighbors about how creepy it was because there was no planes for a week or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember how long it was, but there was no flights for a while there.
Yeah, it was weird, man. I mean, I'm sure it's the same. Everybody, you're going to hear that a lot from a lot of people. That was just so strange that day, and something that I will never forget. We had a friend living in New York City at the time, so we were worried about her, and hadn't nobody. Her mom and dad finally heard from her later in the day, and they put out calls and everything because there wasn't really texting back then, and there wasn't Facebook or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, it was really, really weird.
I can imagine. Let me ask you this one question now, since you were in a bigger city. I was in a small community, so But coming from a big city like Cincinnati, now I know it's not New York, it's not Los Angeles, but it's still it's a city, right? It's a big city.
I mean, you know,
what was going on in Cincinnati that day? Like I hear people say, like no one was out. I think sort of everyone was home. You know, everyone was glued to the TV. You know, I don't know about Cincinnati per se, but you're saying it was quiet, not just airplanes, but was there anybody out and about? Was it just, or you know, it's
I wasn't downtown at all, right. But I do remember, and I know Keith Winter works in downtown Cincinnati, or did. He still does. He probably could speak better of it, but I know that on Fountain Square, which is our city center kind of thing, I think they had it on the big screen down there, and I remember seeing news footage of people, because it was such a beautiful day that day. They were outside and they were watching, but I think for the most part, I want to say that I think they closed a lot of businesses downtown. I don't remember there being like a big panic about it. And Keith, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. But here it's like we're small. There's not much here that you would think that I mean, it wouldn't attract attention from a terrorist, and that's what, you know, ultimately what they're looking for, right? It just didn't. I don't know. It wasn't as quiet as it was in March of 2020. I'll tell you that much. Right. March and April 2020, but it was still like we didn't really go downtown then. Because we lived closer to downtown. Yeah, companies closed early and everyone went home to be with family. Yeah, it emptied out, and libraries, TVs in every break room, even out on the floors. Yeah, they did. I remember you saying that, Paige. They wheeled them out. Yeah, it was just weird. I mean, like anybody else, it was just a strange,
right? Like,
what is happening here? And it made me think of like a lot of the Challenger disaster. Like everybody knew where we were, right. And I was pretty young, but when the attempt on Reagan's life, I remember coming home from school that day. I was pretty young when that happened, and hearing about it. But this one is obviously the one that really sticks out.
Right.
In everybody of our age's mind. And we were talking at work this morning a little bit. Debbie Bernfeld, hi. Oh my goodness. That's wow, Debbie. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's wow. Yeah.
Oh.
Awesome.
Anyway,
and that's the thing. That's, you know, sort of the purpose of what we're talking about. Like I was telling Cakes before the show started, I said I didn't know anyone personally that lost their lives in this, you know, but
yeah, me neither.
I know people that did, you know, after moving down to Florida here and working with a lot of people at the Gulf Channel for so many years. I heard a lot of stories of people said they lost friends or you know, or were friends with someone who lost someone. So it was, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, you know, it's just a crazy day. And before I forget, I want to say hi to Debbie really quick. And I saw Kendrick was in the chat, so I want to say hi to Kendrick. Welcome. Thank you for coming in and joining us tonight. But yeah, it's that, and that's, you know, like I said, we're not forcing anybody to share anything in the chat, but if you feel compelled, we'd love to hear it, you know, and because I think the more, even though it's been 24 years, the more we talk, the more we learn, the more we can grow and, you know, and come together more, you know. I mean, before I even get to my story, you know, I'm just going to say this, you know, was for such a tragedy, the short time right after, from the people that went there to volunteer from across the country to go to New York City and help, and everybody in this country, I mean, we were so, to use the word united was a fact. Never has this, not in my life, have I ever seen the country so united, you know?
Right.
And unfortunately, as time has gone on, you know, and we won't get into all that stuff, but it's just sort of like, you know, unfortunately, it took a tragedy like that to get to that united state, you know, but, you know, I don't know. It's crazy, you know, but at the same time, the moral of that is when something like that happened, the humanity and the love of people took over, you know, and you know, and to hear those stories every year now when they do these specials on the History Channel or whatever it is on 9/11, you hear news stories of what people did, you know, people driving from North Dakota all the way to New York City and said, what can I do to help? You know, I'm a firefighter.
Fire departments from across the country, police units from across the country.
Right, exactly. You know, so it was just a
beautiful thing to see at such a tragic time.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, Now in 2001, I was finishing up my bachelor's degree. I was at Northern Michigan University up in it's a town called Marquette in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Marquette is literally right on Lake Superior. It's the only thing separating Marquette from Canada is Lake Superior. Okay, so it's just so that's where we were. It's a very small community, and not much. I mean, it's really, when I say we're part of Michigan, but most people that live there say we're not, because we're just nothing like the Lower Peninsula, right? So it's just but it is completely different. And so Jenny and I were both at college there at the time, and so yeah, I sort of told this story already, but I'll just give you the quick version of. I had an early class that morning. It was my last semester of college, and every morning when I woke up for school, I would wake up early enough where I could turn the TV on and just sort of watch something for 15, 20 minutes and then go get ready and get over to the university. Right. Well, that morning I overslept a little bit, so I didn't have time to turn the TV on. So I did what I needed to do to get ready, didn't turn the TV on. Like I said, went to my truck, got in the truck. Of course, I have a radio in the truck, but it also had a CD player, which, most people, everyone knows. Does anyone have a CD player? So there you go. But so the CD was playing. The CD was playing on the way to school.
What was it?
I believe it was what. I don't know if I'm allowed to. It was a mix CD from Napster. Oh. You remember Napster? So,
yeah.
So there you go. So it was a mixture of 80s music, I'm sure, that I was listening to, right? So pirated from Napster.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. Well, that'll be a different story for a different day. But yes, so I got to the university, and my class I had that morning was close to what. It was Milli Vanilli.
It was Milli Vanilli.
It was not Milli Vanilli. Girl, you know it. Girl, you know it. Girl, you know it. There you go. Anyways, get off the stage. Anyways, but yeah, so I got there, and the class I had was next to a little cafeteria-like area that had a TV there. When I opened the doors, the place was packed, and it's never packed, and it's just like, and basically Yeah, I'm like, sort of, is something's going on here. So I asked the guy, like, what's happening here? He's like, you don't know? And I'm like, well, no, that's why I'm asking, And he's like, a plane flew into one of the towers in New York City, and he goes, from what we're gathering now, from what we're hearing, originally they thought it was a small plane, like you said, that someone was accidentally crashed into. But even he was saying now they're talking more like this is a pretty big hole, and it's burning like crazy. He's like, I don't think that was a small plane, So it's like, and it wasn't 10 minutes after I got in there, the second plane flew into the other one, and it was sort of like, holy smokes. Then at that point, everyone was like, what the heck, and so on and so forth. And then, like I told you last night, it was 5 to 10 minutes after that happened. I didn't even know Northern Michigan University had a PA system because they never used it for anything, right. But someone got on the PA system and said, everyone go home, classes are canceled, everyone go home, and so, of course,
be with your loved one.
At that point, you rushed home just to turn the TV back on. Right. And then, of course, you turn the TV on. And I don't know about you, and I'm sure a lot of people, I like to watch TV, don't get me wrong. But, man, we were glued to that TV like there was no tomorrow. It was just nonstop. I'm watching this all day. And, of course, when that first tower came down, it was like, what just happened? Did that really just happen?
Right.
I don't know about everybody, but for me, like when that first tower started coming down, it was sort of like you just saw the cloud of dust, and part of your brain was saying that tower is not coming down, but something's happening. Until you realize once the dust got to a certain level that there wasn't a second tower there. It was just one. And it was like, oh my God, it came down, and it's just, and then of course we know what happened the rest of the day, the second one coming down, and then what happened in Pennsylvania, what happened at the Pentagon, and you couldn't believe it. And you were talking about the airport earlier. Now in Marquette, again, very small community. Part of your story. very, very small community, and there's an airport, there's there's 3 airports in the UP, and they're all like, back then it was almost like they were propeller planes that brought people in, there was no jets coming in. It was all propeller planes. But in Marquette, there used to be what is called K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base. And then that ended up closing down at some point. I don't remember what year it was. And they turned the Air Force Base just into an airport, right? A basic airport. Yeah. But that Air Force Base was known for their B-52 bombers, which, if you know that plane, it's huge. It's big.
Big runway.
So, which means when 9/11 was going on and they started grounding planes, any size plane could land there because it's big enough runways for it. So we had 747s flying over in the UP, landing in Marquette, with full of people. And when, like you said, the noise factor of a 747 that you never hear in the UP, not that 747s never fly over the UP, but they're so high, you don't really, but in this case, they're coming to land and you're like, what? It was loud, and it was like, and these people, the stories were, I can't remember where they were from, but these people had no idea what the UP was. And here they are grounded in the UP. Right. So it was just like, wow.
Nowhere to go, nothing to do.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Mike. Thanks for coming in. Mike. But yeah, that whole day, that that the few days thereafter, is just something that is never going to leave the brain, right? It's just and then over the years, and then you heard stories of people jumping off the towers and stuff like that, and you just like, I can't imagine being in that position of either burning to death or jumping out of a 100-story building or whatever, and it's just like, and I'll leave it with this: is in 2006, I was still working at the Golf Channel at the time, and I had to go to the U.S. Open, which was in Wingfoot, which is outside New York City, and I met a coworker of mine inside the city. It was the first time I had been inside New York City since I was a little kid, so I didn't remember much about New York City. Mm-hmm. So when you get into New York City, when I got into New York City, now again, coming from a small town kid, Orlando was a culture shock when I moved here, but when you get into New York City, that is just, unbelievable. The eyes are just like, and then when you're walking next to these skyscrapers that are there at the time, and you're trying to reminisce, you can't help. It was the first time I was in New York City since 9/11, of looking at these buildings, and some of these obviously weren't anywhere near as tall as the trade centers, of course. And you're looking at this saying, I can't. And how tight knit all these buildings are, and all the people, and I'm just like, I remember talking to one guy saying that I worked with, saying, his a friend of his was in New York City. He said the pictures didn't do it justice with people just running. It was just,
I can only imagine.
And so you're trying to picture all this stuff as you're standing there, and it just blows you away. It really does, and it's just something that even to this day now, it's 24 years again, I can't believe it's been 24 years. It's just unbelievable to think that much time has passed already. I mean, and
it's unreal.
I haven't been back to New York since they rebuilt the new tower and stuff like that. And I'm hoping someday I can go see that and take a look at the memorials they have there again. All that new, somewhat new stuff. It's not really new. I just haven't been there. But but yeah, it's 9/11 was just. Like I said, you brought up some of the other things, whether it was Reagan or Kennedy. I remember watching the space shuttle.
Yeah, Challenger,
the Challenger, because the teacher was on there, and every classroom in America had that on TV because there was a teacher on that, on the shuttle. I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade at the time, or whatever it was.
I was in 6th grade.
Yeah, so that sounds about right then. Yeah, so we're pretty close there. So it was like, and I, not to go off on that one, but same thing. It was like, what happened, and it was just, but yeah, I mean, realistically, the loss of life that day, that's the mind-boggling part, of the, of what those people had to go through. And like I said, I recommend anybody, when there's a new special on for 9/11, talking to either survivors or people that were affected, losing lost ones, I highly recommend watching it because I think you learn something new every time, and it's
hey Doug, how are you? Sorry, Ken.
Doug Dystopia. No, that's fine. Absolutely. So always great to see Zippity Doo Doug. Everyone, I know we'll get his link on there for his coffee talk shows and everything else that Zippity Doo Doug does. So absolutely check him out. Funny man. And his brother Scallywag Steve. Yeah, two. You think we're funny? Go watch those guys. But yeah, it's great to see you, sir. But yeah, so let's I see Lucinda's. Let's put up some of the chats here of some people what they're saying, because I'd love to read it because I'm missing it as I'm talking here. But Lucinda says, at the newspaper, one of the reporters came to my desk to tell me he couldn't log on to the AP wire service. I went to check the server and saw it loaded loading hundreds of stories.
Hundreds of stories, yeah.
That's how we found out. Wow.
Wow.
You know, Lucinda, that would be an interesting, I'm sure as you're working at the newspaper at the time, that just had to be chaotic. You know, I mean, every news station, whether it was a TV news station, a radio news station, or in your case, newspaper. Wow. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know how you guys cover that stuff really, you know? So it's just, but yeah, it's crazy. All right. What did Debbie have to say? So yeah, I think I saw this earlier, but I'll read it. The company I worked for, where 20 people were impacted and 8 of them were killed in Twin Towers. Wow. I also lost a fellow high school friend. My brother also worked in the city. Yeah, it was, yes, I am sure it was a rough day, you know?
Oh, yeah. Goodness.
Now, Cakes, I'm going to tie it in with this just because as us being baseball fans really quick, I'm just going to say this really quick. I'm not a Yankees fan and I'm not a Mets fan. But those
Me neither, but I watched the heck out of that game.
Those first home games they had after 9/11, you couldn't help but cheer. You know what I'm saying? So it was just so it was good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Queen Rita, I had to convince my mom not to watch. Called her when it happened. I was worried my dad would get way too upset. Yeah, he was disabled from many health issues. So she played piano and they sang songs like, oh, that's
there you go.
That's a beautiful story, right? You know, so it's yeah, everyone copes with these types of things differently. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that, you know. So it's just especially if you know,
a shock and staring at a TV for hours on end because
right,
it was still unbelievable. It's still unbelievable to a certain extent. You know what I mean? It's just like I don't know the documentaries like you were saying come on every year, and the one by the set of with the French brothers that had that one. Man, whew, that one is powerful when like because they were inside the lobbies and all that. Yeah, it was because they were with the FDNY that day, doing a documentary on them. Man, that was just Yeah.
What did Dame have to say? I stayed on the phone with my dad for hours as a retired deputy. He once again had to remind me to focus on the people running toward the tragedy. Never been so thankful he was retired. Yeah, I bet, you know. And it's I mean, like I said, it's been 24 years. That's the crazy thing. It's gone by so fast, but for me, you know, like it doesn't feel like 24 years. It doesn't, you know, because of just the shock and awe. Yeah. And you're talking about watching TV, you know, I mean, you could watch TV for 24 hours straight and not be tired because you were just couldn't believe what was happening, you know? So it was just, And
that's the other weird part is like, you know, back to that day, and he just made me think of that because I went back into work the next morning. Well, 9/11 in the afternoon, we had like early afternoon, people were coming back because they couldn't fly out.
Right.
So we had, you know, not again, we weren't booked full or anything like that, but we had people come back like, hey, can we get back? Can we have our rooms back because we can't go anywhere? You know, and we of course accommodated all of them. But like the next morning, as I went in, they'd come down for breakfast and they were staying into an indeterminate amount of time because they didn't know if they were going to fly or rent a car or something to get back home. And I think most of them within 2 or 3 days had rented cars to drive wherever they were headed to. But it was like even renting a car at that point because there were so many people renting cars to get home because you couldn't fly. It was just such a weird,
Yeah. I'll read Marla's comment here, Miss Small World fan. I was glued to the TV until the towers came down. I just remembered watching and felt such a pain in my heart. Yes, you know.
Yes.
You know what? I kept watching, but yes, I mean when those towers came down, when the first one came down, I got to believe most people thought it was only a matter of time for the second one did. You know, it was just you know, but never thought those things were ever going to come down though.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was just. You know, and then again, you know, talking about some of the documentaries of the people that designed those buildings and the architects saying steel will melt, you know, so it's just, you know, so it's like, you know, so there it was, you know, and he said it was just once that gas, you know, full big planes flying in there with gasoline, you know, full tanks. Yeah. It's going to burn and burn and burn. And but you know what, really, Gus's aunt worked in one of the towers. She was not there, but lost a lot of friends. Yeah, I bet, you know. So, and I saw Lucinda's comment too. It affected a lot of people all over the world, not just here, right? You know, there was a British company that lost all of its employees, you know. So
I can't even imagine.
It's amazing, you know, in that sense. And wow. That's And you know what? And I'm glad you guys are here listening to this tonight. And like I said, you know, we usually have pretty fun topics to talk about and stuff like that. And we like to joke
We
around.
think we're fun.
Yeah, we think we're fun. That's all. That's what matters, right? You know. So, but we definitely thought it was. If we're going to do a show on 9/11, we want to talk about it. You know, and you need to talk about it.
I mean, there's so much that we could talk about.
Right.
About whatever, and we're not gonna do that. But just remember those days afterwards. I think that's poignant right now. Remember those days afterwards when this country came together and we were all one.
Right.
Remember those days. And I think we should all strive for those days.
Absolutely.
Because that's something we're sorely lacking at this point in our history. That's my soapbox. I am done. Let's move forward to our special guest.
There we go. Let's we're gonna bring in a special guest here. Hopefully she joins the studio here in a second.
Stop giving it away, you big
when
mouth.
I say, well, it's a he or she. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? Well, it's like 50-50 here, you know. So, but
I'm betting most people probably already know who it is.
Yeah, but before we bring it, I just wanted to say one thing.
Yeah,
God bless the United States, okay, and God bless all of you. And let's, like Cake says, you know, let's remember those days afterwards, and let's strive the best way we can to get back to that spot, you know, without this tragedy, of course. But let's all try and be better people. Let's all try and accept and love, and that's my soapbox, right? You know, so I think this world can be. My last thing would say is to anybody that disagrees with anything that I ever have to say, that's fine. Doesn't make me a bad person, and if I disagree with you, does not make you a bad person. You know, it's just we don't disagree. We disagree on this, but guess what? We can still be friends. We can still get along, and I think that'll help out a lot if people started thinking that way. So there's my
one last thing on the subject.
Yep.
When civil discourse ends, violence begins.
There you go.
Be kind to each other. Be kind.
That's right.
All right. We're done.
Well, okay, there it is. Everyone, on to other things here. But again, thank you guys for all listening. We appreciate it. And,
thanks for being here for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And don't forget, before we bring her in, if you think anyone would love to hear what we had to say tonight, please share out the stream. Let people know about it. Don't forget to smash that like button for us. That goes a long way to help out. And anyone that you think would want to hear this, again, just share it out. Whether they sub or not doesn't matter. We just wanted to share our message tonight. So, and I think I'll give my normal
spiel. I don't care if you sub or not.
Yeah, exactly. So
if you come in, we get you to smile once. That's all we're here for.
There we go. Hi, T. Marie. Welcome in.
Hey, pickles.
There it is. Okay, everyone. I think we are getting close. I see someone in the studio.
I see them.
And I am going to add this person. Okay, I won't say she or he now, you know. So it's just like, there we go. And we're going to talk to this special guest about their channel a little bit before we end the night. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to add this person to the stage, everyone. So drum roll, Cakes. Here we go. Oh, well, hi, Lily.
How are you doing on the 927, youngin?
Yeah, can you hear us and see us okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. How are you doing?
Good.
Are you going to be the queen of one-word answers for me tonight?
No.
So, yes.
Oh, there we go. Everyone is saying hi to you, Lily. You seeing this in the chat here?
No.
Purple hearts, and who's that? And smiley faces, and laughing.
Yeah, never. I think Dame just said never met this person before. Who is that?
That's Kate.
Yeah.
No.
Well, really quick, we wanted to finish the night talking to Lily here a little bit.
Yeah.
And we are, of course, I'm Lily's Life Dad. Everyone knows that in other chats and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about the Lily's Life channel here just for a little bit.
Cakes 2112 and other chats.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. So there it is. But yes, in the 927, I'm Kenny J. Everywhere else, I'm Lily's Life Dad. So there it is. But yes. But yeah.
According to Zippity Doo Dug, you're Kenny G.
Kenny G. Kenny G. Yes, that is correct. So yes. So Lily, tell us what's going on with your channel right now that you want to tell everybody. I know you're close to a certain number. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what number is that?
Almost 2K subs.
Almost 2K subs. Are you guys hearing this? Really? 2K. How did you get to
2,000 subs?
How are you getting to 2,000 subs, Lily? Talk what makes your channel make people come back and watch you more and more? What are you doing?
Awesome. I'm sassy. I'm no Disney all the time. And teach people.
Oh, that's what people want to see?
Yeah.
Sure.
I love it.
I write no small world for cakes.
No Small World. We always write Small World for cakes. I am waiting for Small World to update their sign on
This
the
girl
outside
sits
and
on
take
a
off
throne
and
of
take off
lies.
one of the little kids' faces and put Cake's face right there. You know. So, excuse me, I got something in my eye. Oh man. Anyways,
Man, I have a quote and I can't say it.
but Lily, now coming up, we always do some vlogs, right? Tell people what do we do on the weekend usually, and what do we like to show?
Disney stuff.
Disney stuff.
Yeah.
Simple, to the point. And what's one of the things that you like to do while you're either streaming or / doing a vlog? Do you like to hold the camera a little bit and show things?
Yeah.
And why do you like doing that?
Talk to people.
Talk to people? Why?
Yeah.
Because are you sassy to them too?
No.
Let me ask you this, Lily. Who are some of the people you tease during a live stream or / vlog?
Dorina, Mala, Gus, everybody.
Everybody,
Everybody. There it is.
no one is safe.
No one is safe. If you guys, I know, I'm assuming, I don't know if we put Lily's link in the chat yet or not. If I missed it, I
Yeah,
apologize.
I think
But
it's
yes,
in
I'm
there.
sure we did. But definitely, it's a big goal for Lily to get to those 2,000 subs, right, Lily? That's a big achievement, isn't it? Do you remember what you did when you hit 1,000 subs? No,
I do.
What did you do
What?
when you hit 1,000
You
subs?
remember?
What did you do?
Yes, you did.
She did. And now, down in the future, now it's fall, right, Lily? It's September, which October brings what? What's your favorite holiday in October?
Halloween.
Halloween, which means the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party is going on right now. And okay, wait a second. Before I move on, I just saw Pete McDevitt's comment. She hit 1,000 subs or me 1,000 times. Have you hit Pete 1,000 times? Have you hit Pete 1,000 times, Lily?
No. Only
How many times?
4.
4 times? Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
it. So
Did you
Now, that one day alone, you hit him more than 4 times.
yeah, that's true.
You know, Preston said, hey, my dad for me. Okay, got it. Yeah, did you Preston?
Wait a minute. Zippity Doo Dog and Preston both told you to hit Pete now?
Yes.
Oh boy, I did not know that. Pete, you're gonna have to talk to Preston now, I guess. Oh, my
Preston's
Lord.
his own man.
Yeah, there you go. But so Lily, so what is going to happen on the Lily's Life channel here coming up soon? What are we going to be doing?
Halloween party live streamer on next Friday.
Coming up soon? Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
That next Friday.
Well, coming up soon. Let's just say that. So there we
Coming
Yeah.
go.
up
What else?
soon.
What else is coming up on their channel though?
Cakes.
Me. What are we doing next Monday? On your
doing,
channel.
Live stream cakes channel.
No, we're not live streaming on my channel. We're live streaming on your channel.
What?
Okay, we're gonna have the Monday night Woohoo Crew, right?
Mhm.
On Lily's Life live streaming. We're all gonna get together. You're gonna see more than just Cakes and Ice Face. You're gonna see Lily. You're
Yeah.
gonna see Jen. And if they're feeling better, you're gonna see Dame and Marla. And or if Marla's roof's not caving in at the time, she'll be on there. And you know,
Surprise pop into Gus, hopefully.
yeah, maybe a little
Doing
shoulders
Gus
from
dance.
Gus doing the Gus dance. There you go,
Doing the Gus
Lily. So,
dance. Well, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to the Halloween party a week from tonight or tomorrow.
Yes, we're going to do the Halloween party, and we're planning on live streaming from there. We're actually going twice this year. Once next week, and then once in October for Lily's birthday. But we
Oh,
are going
that'll
to
be fun.
we want to live stream this one a little bit to basically not only show you the parades, but we're going to try and do as many meet and greets as we can. Not the normal meet and greets, the ones that are specific to the Halloween party, and try and show you some different things. Now, if you watch a lot of Halloween party streams already, you probably may have seen it. But when it comes to Lily, it's always different, right, Lily? So yeah, because you're a trickster out there. Now, I saw was it Dorit? Not Dorina, but Lucinda asked can she have a hint of what you're wearing for Halloween? And I would tell her no. Say no.
No.
Nope. It's a surprise, right?
I
It's a
know.
surprise.
I know. Oh wait,
I
I'm
know.
not allowed to tell. I'm
Yes.
just threatened with my life.
You're gonna wear Packers jersey next Friday
Yeah. Make me
Okay,
so
perfect.
happy.
or next week? Excuse me. Yeah. Okay, that works for me. So, but anyways, yeah. So we have that plan to coming up. But like I said, we are doing since we started Lily's Life. You know, we've done a lot of vlogs. We've done a lot of some live streams. Look for some tortoises, whatever you want to call them, and everything in between. And it means the world, not only to Lily, but to mom and dad and to all of us that are involved with the Lily's Life channel to get her to that 2K. So anything you guys can do to share out Lily's Life, we
Yes.
greatly appreciate it.
Please.
'Cause I think the last I looked, we were about 21
Please,
subs away. I think we were 21 subs away from 2K.
I don't
So
know.
we're
I
getting
can't.
close.
I can't tell.
Yeah, I think it's 21. It's on 21 or 22, somewhere in there. And
We're
I know
pretty
you guys
close.
know people. And if you've seen our vlogs, you've seen Lily on her live streams or vlogs. We try to have a great time and joke around just like we're doing here. So, Lily, do you have any messages for people out there about the Lily's Life channel?
Love you guys.
That's it. Simple, quick, and to
That's
the
all you
point.
need.
Right? That's right. All right. Well, guess what? We're up to that time, and we're going to
Yep,
let
we
Lily
are.
take us out. We're going to let Lily say goodbye to everybody, but don't say goodbye yet because we have one more plug to do, and that is for Pete McDevitt, who is doing the NFL game tonight. Go,
Yep.
Pack, go, Lily. Do it. Come on, give it to me.
Go, Pack, go.
There it is. There we go. And so
Why the heck? Why not? Go Pack, go for tonight.
there we go. Go to Pete McDevitt, who's here tonight. He does a great play-by-play.
He does.
You can still watch the game on TV if you want, but I would turn that volume down and listen to Pete. Match up the
Yep.
audio with Pete with the plays on TV, and he does a great job calling it. And not only that, you got the chat rolling, people having a great time as the game's going on.
And the
And,
link is right there in the chat. So
There it is, right there. Absolutely.
He does a great
definitely
job.
Check it out. Does a great job. And we want to thank everybody tonight for joining us. Again,
yes, thank you.
and we always say never forget, right? You know, and we appreciate you listening to us, letting us share our stories, and we so happy that you shared yours. You know, and just know how much we feel about all our community here. We love you guys, and thank you very much. I will let Cakes say his goodbye, and then Lily, all you're going to do is are you going to do the Yes Have Some line tonight for us?
Yeah.
Okay, so when Cakes is done, we want to hear a great Yes Have Some from Lily. Okay, but on that note, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone, and I'll let Cakes take over.
Everybody, thanks for coming in tonight. Thanks for putting up with our stories about 9/11 and our wonderful, amazing special guest, Lily from Lily's Life. We love her. Friday, a week from tomorrow, she'll be live at the Halloween party. Check it out. And then the following Monday after that, which is what, like 21st or something like that, we're going to do the live hangout. And we'll be on Lily's Life channel this time around. So thanks for being here. Be kind to everybody. Treat everybody with respect. And Lily, take it away.
Yes, have some.
Bye, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.